Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name's Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for Championship Review and Reaction Round 28. Big thank you to everybody who's in the stream right now. We are 2 hours early today. I'm on Blue Monday duty tonight, so I'm going to be talking about Ipswich from 7:30 p.m. So we're not in our normal 7 p.m. slot, but we do have 11 of 12 games played in the Championship so far this round, and all ready to talk about. A few technical hitches. Please bear with me if the picture's not pixel perfect. We'll try and fight through. I've done all I can this end, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter. My apologies if I don't look in glorious HD like I maybe should. Right, we are going to get into it. Let me know if you can see me, hear me loudly, clearly, ironically. We need to say a big thank you to Russ first before we start, don't we? Good old Russ, great guy, big friend on the channel. Was a foe, now a friend, currently on loan to the Premier League for a year or not, maybe not necessarily so, Russ. His team Norwich are out of the bottom three now, aren't they? But we thank Russ for sponsoring on the Patreon. This will always be free on YouTube, but you can support financially over at patreon.com. Right, let's say some highs to Jack and Mark and Ewan, Dave, TJ, Noah, Ross, CCFC, Jimmy, Annie. There we go. And we want your input. We want your thoughts on all of the games as we go through. And these are the games we are talking about, of course, with the acknowledgement that Blackburn and Middlesbrough, which we will watch along tomorrow night, will be playing in just over 24 hours' time. It was in the Championship this round. Bristol City 3, Cardiff City 2, Forest 2, Derby 1. Those were the two big local derbies played early on the Saturday. Birmingham 2, Barnsley 1, Blackpool 1, Millwall 0, Bournemouth 0, Hull 1. Yes, that one gets a raise of the eyebrows. Coventry 1, QPR 2. Reading 3, Huddersfield 4. That gets my, whatever inflection. Sheffield United 2, Luton 0. Stoke 2, Fulham 3. Swansea 1, Preston 0. And it was West Brom 3, Peterborough United 0. So, you know what this means. We always start with the highest ranked team, and that means Fulham. And it was Stoke 2, Fulham 3. And the Fulham goal machine kicks on. That is 73 goals for the season. But never mind counting goals. Let's count some points. Fulham are 8 points clear in the title race, let alone the automatic promotion race. I mean, it's the same number. But Fulham have 19 games to go, and they are 8 points clear. So Fulham are now, if they weren't already, red-hot favourites to win the Championship in 21-22 as we go in to, well, we're about 9 games from the home straight. They went to Stoke. From what I've heard, it was some more clinical finishing, and Fulham get the win again to leave Stoke in 9th with a 3rd defeat in 4 games. Get your comments in on Fulham's latest 3 goals onto the total, which now stands at 73. Remember, we've done the video. Go and check out the top 10 video. The target is Manchester City 108, Bolton 100. Let me get this the right way around. Reading 99, Bournemouth 98, and who got 97? Pompey 97. Those are the targets for Fulham. And look, they're only about 25 goals away from that now, and there's 19 games to go. And the rate they're scoring, they're going to do it, aren't they? Get your thoughts in on this one. There's your Stoke team there. Bonham in goal. Harwood, Bellis, Jagielka and Chester. Timon and Smith, the wing-backs. Klukas, Allen, Baker. Wright, Phillips and Brown up top. For Fulham, Rodak, Tete, Adrabio, Ream, Robinson. Kenny Reid, so they're still without Seri at AFCON. Bobby Reid, Fabio Carvalho, Naskins Kibano, and Rodrigo Muniz. So, elephant in the room. They scored another 3 goals, won another game, went 8 points clear without Mitrovic and Wilson. They're on paper their best goal scorer and their most creative player. Nice work if you can get it right. Here are the goals. This is DiMaggio Wright Phillips, who's really burst onto the scene now, hasn't he? A couple of good performances already from him, and he gets on the score sheet in the first minute. Timmins sticks the cross in. Good finish, actually, as well by Wright Phillips. Control, cushion, volley, 1-0. Don't wind Fulham up, though. They score literally a minute later. And it is just absolutely clinical, isn't it? And if you're a Stoke player, you're like, we started the game well. We've got an amazing start, brilliant early goal. And then Muniz, the reserve forward, the €8 million reserve forward, by the way, spins there and just slams that in the top corner. That's not even a half chance, is it? He's on the turn and there's two marking him. And that's what Fulham are like in front of goal this season, aren't they? And here they go again. Fabio Carvalho. How many has he got this season, for God's sake? He gets the second there. I wonder if VAR would... I don't think Muniz touched it, did he? So maybe not, but 2-1 Fulham. It's another great goal in this game. Lewis Baker's come in from Chelsea. He's been around for ages, hasn't he, Baker? And he slams that. Look how far out he is. Must be 30-plus yards out for that one. 2-2, so some really good goals in this game. But the fifth and deciding goal goes to Bobby Reid. Bonham's a little bit on safari, so all Bobby Reid needs to do is find that corner. Any type of decent shot is going in the goal because the keeper's not there. He goes over and above it because he larrops it into the top corner. It's the most Fulham thing I've seen, I think. But there you go. A lot of Stoke fans in my feed saying Stoke played well, and it's just Fulham are just utterly, utterly clinical at the moment, and they are now careering towards the title at 8 points clear. Have a quick look at the numbers. Stoke, only the 3 shots on target. They got 2 goals from them. Fulham with double that and 2 big chances to 1. So despite the fact it was tight and there was some good goals in it, you do make Fulham on the numbers. And look, I didn't see the game. I know a lot of you will have. You do make Fulham on the numbers the better side, rightly or wrongly, in isolation. There, 4 straight wins for Fulham, 57 points, 8 points clear. They are well above the 2 points per game, and the 73 goals is just absurdly good, isn't it? Stoke, 3 defeats in 4, as I said, and only 4 points in their past 5 games. Stoke, and they are 6 off the playoffs, and of course everyone's played different amounts of games because of Omicron and all of that good stuff. So let's have a look at some comments. You now have to score at least 5 goals to beat Fulham. Yeah. Evening, Matt. Fulham record breakers. Exactly. Mike, remember the Tigana season and surprised it was only 90 goals. Yes, check out the video on that one. This team is awesome. Still a little suspect at the back. Doesn't matter, does it? It just does not matter how many goals Fulham concede at the moment. Jake, of course, I had to get the 8 million. Well, it's a statement of fact, Jake. You can, what was the quote? I can be confident in what I say. How you choose to interpret it is up to you. Rodrigo Muniz costs €8 million, and he is Fulham's reserve striker. Again, how you choose to interpret that is up to you. What else have we got? Jake thought Lewis Baker was brilliant. If it wasn't for Harrison Reed, would have probably lost. Could Fulham score 100 points and get 100 goals? I don't think they will, actually. I think they'll get 100 goals, but don't think they'll get 100 points. That's really, really, really hard. They need... look, if they turn this into maybe a 7-8 game winning streak, maybe I'll change my mind. But 100 goals, I think, is a bit of a shoe-in, really, isn't it? 22 goals this month. Comedy. Absolutely comedy. Ben... we should have, I don't know what that means. We made 2 mistakes, which led to 2 of their goals. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about fouls because I'd be talking about every game, every team. Someone moans about a foul. I'll read the bottom one. Really good performance. A lot of promising signs. There we go. Anything else? A huge result for Fulham. All well and good getting big wins against lower half teams, but grinding out 1 goal away wins is what champions are made of. And They are hot favourites to become champions, aren't they? Fulham get another win. And, of course, they get another 3 goals, don't they? Right. On we go then, guys. And, surprise, surprise, Bournemouth 0, Hull 1. And this is the second part of Fulham going 8 points clear, of course. Bournemouth lost at home to Hull. And I joked, new owner bounce. Does it last more than one game? Apparently it does. And Hull have beaten Blackburn and Bournemouth this week. They are an odd team, Hull. They had that run, didn't they, of 4 straight wins a while back. Then they started losing again. So I'm like, okay, this run's an outlier. And now back-to-back wins against second and third in the league, as things stand, of course, recording on Sunday night. Bournemouth have lost 3 in 5, haven't they? And there are teams, Blackburn have already had a long streak, but we talk about QPR in a minute. West Brom might start winning. I don't know. We were talking about 2 teams being away and clear at the top. Maybe one team is now away and clear at the top. And we don't necessarily have a title race at this moment, but we might have an automatic promotion race that 2 months ago, me, you, none of us really thought we were going to get. Get your thoughts in on Bournemouth 0, Hull 1. Did not see that one coming. I don't know. We'll have to look back at the preview show and see how many of you were calling a Hull victory on that. I certainly didn't, but I'll always hold my hands up when I get it the wrong way around. It was for Bournemouth Travers in goal. Stacey, Metham, Kelly, Davis, Billing, Lerma, Marcondes, Lowe, Solanke, Christie. Strong Bournemouth team, isn't it? For Hull, Baxter, Bernard McLaughlin, Greaves, Williams, Longman, Smallwood, Doherty, Honeyman, Eves, and Lewis Potter. And they're going to win with a 77th minute goal by Ryan Longman. And it's just one of those, isn't it? I think it's Jack Stacey, is it, in the right back spot? Yes. He plays the ball down the line. No, he doesn't. He comes in field, doesn't he? And he leaves the right back spot completely open. They're trying to launch an attack. Then the ball turns over. Hull transition it into the vacant area. And Ryan Longman, in the best way, comes inside. Everything then gets a bit squished and narrow. And he's able to just force that shot into the gap, into the back of the net. And it's that lovely breakaway away from home goal. And Hull go on and win the game. Now, I'm sure there are people that saw all 90 minutes of this one, so they can tell me. Looks like a bit of a smash and grab. Obviously, that's fine. There are many ways to skin a cat. My team was managed by Mick McCarthy for 6 seasons, so I've seen plenty of smash and grabs in my time. It's not an insult. But, look, 17 shots to 6, 68% possession, 4 big chances to 0. But Hull won. And Bournemouth 0 in the goals column. So, I don't accept the premise that the only stat that matters is the number of goals scored. It's certainly the most important stat, though, isn't it, when we add them up? And Bournemouth, have they kissed Fulham goodbye now? Any chance of them catching them? I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? However, a Blackburn win, and they will be 3 points clear. This is tomorrow night. 3 points clear of Bournemouth, and Bournemouth are then chasing Blackburn. A Middlesbrough win, and then we would get between sort of 2nd and 6th, 49, 49, 47, 45, 45. And we might have ourselves, what we didn't think was going to happen, a automatic promotion race. Hull have got back-to-back wins, and they, look, their points have been very concentrated this season, but look at that. They are 10 points clear of the relegation zone, Hull City. 29 points from 27 games. We're always looking at 45 to survive. Can you track a point per game? Well, Hull are over the point per game mark there with 29 from 27. Well played, Grant McCann. New owners at Hull. Happy days for any Hull fans in the comments. Let's have a look at the comments. Hull flying. all of a sudden. McCann's comments after game were incredible. They were quite funny, weren't they? Lenny, game of two halves. Battered in the first half without conceding, but looked decent value for a win in the second. First time I actually feel confident. 10 points clear with, how many have Hull got to play? Yeah, 19 to play. Are you telling me, I'm not Lenny, but just I'm putting this out into the ether. Are you telling me that teams are going to make up half a point per game on Hull between now and the end of the season to relegate them? Not likely, I don't think. What else have we got here? Ollie, this might be getting dull for the neutrals, but automatic is wide open. Bournemouth, having looked imperious, have fallen away. There we go. What else have we got? Hull, a team of the round. They might just be. We'll come on to that. Maybe people should stop letting Longman cut inside. He is good at it, but it's one of those, isn't it, where the gap opens up. And, yeah, it's easier said than done at that point. Isn't it? Anything else in the chat? Bournemouth too reliant on Solanke for goals. They need more from other players. Maybe. Parker Ball strikes again. 65% of possession, and they lose the game. New owner bounce is real, isn't it? Where else are we going in this? Looking good for Hull now, isn't it, Jess? So well played, Hull. And yes, I agree with the comment. I'm sure their name is going to come up for team of the round, isn't it? So quick mention, even though we have already, Blackburn and Middlesbrough play tomorrow night. I will, of course, actually, if I do this cleverly, we can get them highlighted on the table, can't we? And you can see, I think you all know what the state of play is, but it's my job to say it. There we go. Blackburn 49, Middlesbrough 42. Big game indeed. I can see comments talking about Rodrigo Muniz. Fulham fans, you're top of the league. You're 8 points clear. Your team is scoring lots and lots and lots of goals, okay? Let's not have a debate about how many euros someone cost. As I always say about transfer fees, don't get emotional about them. My figure is reported from Transfermarkt, which I always use. If you can debunk that by showing me anything official from the club, go right on ahead. If I was a Fulham fan, I wouldn't be remotely bothered as my team careers towards the league title. And I will say no more about that. Right, on we go. And it is Coventry 1, QPR 2. And right into the story here is the fact that Bournemouth have dropped points and QPR are on a run, aren't they? It's a fourth straight victory for QPR, and they are now very much in contention in that automatic promotion race. I didn't really think they were a few weeks ago, but as of now they are. And you have to say they have coped very, very well without Dieng and without Chair, indeed, at AFCON. They're on a winning streak, and it was Uncle Albert Adoma who did it again. And Coventry, it's another defeat for them, 3 in the last 5 games. Their informed striker, Matt Godden, has got appendicitis. Maybe a bit of a regression to the mean for Coventry. Get your comments in on this one. Here are your teams. Coventry, Moore in goal. Clark, Salter, McFadzean, and Hyam. Kane, Shipley, Sheaf, Hamer, Alan O'Hare, and Gyökeres. For QPR, Marshall in goal. Dickey, Dunn, Barbe, Adoma, Wallace, Dezelfield, Willock, Dykes, and Gray. And I think it's another 2 assists for Chris Willock in this one. Quite the player. And they took the lead fairly early on, very early on, in fact, 6 minutes in QPR. They're not going to have many shots in this game, but they are going to make them count for sure. So it's slid into Gray from Willock. I have to say, it's not the greatest defending in the world, is it? And that shot is able to find that far corner. You would think that he's not even going to take it with his left foot. He's going to take it with his right. It's one of those where you look back at it and you think, well, how has he managed to squeeze a right-footed shot? Fair enough, if he gets it across his body and smacks it with the left foot. But yeah, is it Dominic Hyam there? I'm not entirely sure. Body positions and blocking and everything is done quite adequately there, but it goes into the far corner. Andre Gray gives QPR the lead. What a goal this is. It's not quite Paul Scholes, Beckham and Scholes against Bradford, is it? Because the ball does bounce, but it's a brilliant goal by Coventry. Kane takes the corner. Shipley arrives on the edge of the box and just leathers it first time into the back of the net. Brilliant, brilliant goal by Coventry. But here he is again, Uncle Albert Adoma. I think he got the winner at Birmingham as well, didn't he? He was having a lovely old time with the away fans. 88th minute, Willock cross in again. Willock's brilliant, isn't he? And Adoma from right wing back. Look, he's in the number 9 position. Furthest forward, heads that one into the back of the net. And QPR get the win. However, and let me know if you watch this game. Look at the numbers, though. 21 shots to 8 in Coventry's favour. 7 shots on target to 3. 13 corners to 2. But then somehow, from an XG point of view, look, Coventry had QPR had 5 big chances in the game. So very much a case of QPR certainly didn't do the majority of the shooting, but the chance quality they had appeared to be much bigger. And of course, Coventry scoring with an absolute worldie. And hey, look, maybe that's what happens when you're just in a good moment and in good form. And QPR are certainly in a good moment and in good form. Look at that, 4 straight wins, 47 points from 26 games. And they are 2 points behind Blackburn and Bournemouth with a game in hand. Obviously, again, I reiterate, Blackburn play tomorrow. So looking good for QPR. I thought they'd drop off without Chair in January. I think a lot of QPR fans did as well. But no, gone the other direction, haven't they? Coventry, as I said, maybe a little bit of a regression to the mean. I know they had a great start to the season and great home form. Also, just the goals. I don't know. Are they drying up a little bit? And I suppose they put 4 in past Peterborough, didn't they, in the last game? But yeah, they'll miss Godden. I think I'll revise my opinion and say that. Right, what have we got in the chat here? Where shall we start? Sam, do I think QPR can push for second? Yeah, if the trend goes the way it is. We a bit worried about Bournemouth. Is there going to be a bit of a slip there? And Blackburn, the thing is, Blackburn have gone on a great run. Will that run be the peak of their season? If Bournemouth trend down and that is the peak of Blackburn's season, QPR keep going, then of course, yeah, absolutely, of course. Willock is getting better and better. If you told me Rangers would have a chance of getting second at the start of the season, I wouldn't have believed it. Nope, me neither. Big win, late goal for QPR. Shipley, maybe goal of the round. Yeah, his name's going to be coming up for that. Fair play to ours, though. Devastating, lethal indeed. QPR flying high. As for Cov, always thought they would slip back in a terrific season. We should say about Coventry, big picture, you know, they're 10th in the table and they were in League One a couple of seasons ago. So they're doing fine. They are doing better than fine, actually, aren't they? Fair play to QPR. I don't think anyone would predict them to have such a good season. It would be amazing to have them. Yeah, we could get a bit of a West London conglomeration in the Premier League next season. Again, apologies for connectivity. We are having struggles, aren't we, with connectivity. So if the picture is not up to snuff, I will apologise and basically say there's jack I can do about it at the moment. So there we go. Way more chance created for Cov, but they didn't take their chances. Uncle Albert has to be given respect. Oh, he certainly gets that here on this channel. Callum, robbery, can't take our chances. Godden will be a massive loss. Has to be goal of the round. Great performance otherwise, indeed. Anything else in the chat here? Ollie, West Brom aside, QPR have had a kind fixture list, maybe. Well affected by AFCON, could definitely push for second, yeah, when Cher and Dieng come back. Absolutely. Right, let's move on. And it was West Brom 3, Peterborough 0. West Brom getting a decent win. They huffed and they puffed, though, didn't they? But they come out 3-0 winners in this one. And look, take it in complete isolation. West Brom have a very good home record. They're still undefeated, in fact, aren't they? We've criticised them for not scoring enough goals, and they've won 3-0. So however you do it, even if it is huffing and puffing, and if it is against Peterborough, who are so bad away from home, it's not even funny for their poor fans. We have to say this bodes well for West Brom. However, DK did go off injured, didn't he, in the second half? So whether their goal-scoring problems are solved for good remains to be seen. Let's get into this and get your comments in on West Brom versus Peterborough. Button in goal for the Baggies, Kipre, Bartley, Clark, Townsend, Furlong, Reach, Livermore, Phillips, Grant, and DK. For the Posh, Bender, Kent, Edwards, Beavers, Mumba, Burrows, Taylor, Norburn, Grant, Clark, Harris, and Dembele. And when does this first goal actually come? 78 minutes it took West Brom to knock down the Posh. Can someone look up the Peterborough away record? I think, is it like 13 defeats in 14 or 12 defeats in 13? I think it's one of the two, isn't it? Can someone fact check me on that in the comments? It's a scruffy old goal from a set play, isn't it, to give Baggies the lead. Furlong slides it in. It basically just hits Kipre and goes in. But you got to get the first contact. If you don't, you got to get the second ball. And Peterborough did neither, and West Brom get another set play goal. Here comes the second. Carlin Grant and Callum Robinson. What a partnership that's been this season. I suspect if you check, that will be the most, or maybe Wilson and Mitrovic, I don't know. That will be the most goals and assists from one player to the next. And Carlin Grant sticks that one into the back of the net. And here comes Grady Diangana, who's kind of gone off the boil, hasn't he? He was brilliant in their last promotion for West Brom under Bilic, but yeah, not been on the output trail very, very much since, has he? But he gets the third one. The numbers tell us, my God, look how one-sided that is. That's ridiculous. 27 shots to 1 and no shots on target for Peterborough. 7 big chances to 0. So this could have been a cricket score. If you'd have put the Fulham strikers in this game, this would probably have been about 12-0 or something ridiculous, wouldn't it? But there you go. West Brom get the win. They get the 3 goals, which they really do need to pad their total. Although it probably still won't look very good on the XG because it sounds like they missed a load of chances as well. But West Brom fans won't care. It's a 3-0 win at the end of the day, isn't it? They go on to 45 points. The problem for West Brom is QPR are on a good run. Blackburn have been on a brilliant run. Fulham are, miles clear of them, 12 points clear, aren't they? So there is a viable challenge here, and we expected West Brom to challenge for the top 2. So we need to see a run from them about now, basically, else it's going to be playoffs at best for West Brom. Peterborough, well, we've said it for weeks now. They're going to get relegated with this away record, aren't they? Let me bring it up on the screen so I can confirm it for you. Yeah, 12 defeats in 13 games. You're just never going to stay up with that away record, are you? Unless you're so good at home. But, the chances of that actually being the case when you're that bad away are very, very slim indeed. Again, apologies for the connectivity issues. It's absolutely doing my nut. What are you going to do? Right, where are we going to dive in here with the comments? Get your comments in. Where shall we land? Don't judge West Brom by that posh result. No, I suppose not. But hey, it can get the confidence going, can't it? Simon, first goal came not a second too early. Baggies fans were really beginning to get on their team back. Playoffs for a manager gone. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the equation, isn't it? What else have we got? If I was posh, I would have gone for Alex Palmer from West Brom. Well, yeah, he wouldn't have been in this game, though, would he, if he was on loan from West Brom? And yes, a little word to all of those contrarians who thought it was clever. We got an ungodly amount of predictions for Peterborough to win this game. I think people were being silly, weren't they? And they were indeed, in the fullness of time, proved to be so. But there we go. I have no leg to stand on when it comes to predictions after the fact, so I'll say no more. And we will move on to the Brian Clough derby. And it was Nottingham Forest 2, Derby County 1. We've tried our best all week to ignore the off-pitch stuff as it pertains to this game. And we will continue to do so. On the pitch, it was Forest and Steve Cooper that got the win. It got a little bit fractious at the end. Ravel Morrison ended up getting red carded. Brice Samba was running around trying to yell at everybody, wasn't he, the Forest keeper? But it was a goal by Brennan Johnson added on to Lewis Graben's one that really put it out of reach. And Forest, for the longest time in this game, have had the bragging rights, and they continue to keep them and continue to keep the Brian Clough Trophy. Get your comments in on this one. Here are your teams. Samba in goal for Forest, the big S house. Yates, Cook, McKenna, Lowe, Spence, Colback, Garner, Johnson, Graben, Davis. Up top for Derby, Allsop in goal. Burns, Stearman, Davies, Buchanan. Knight, Thompson, Bird, Ebasele. Lawrence and Kazim Richards up top. Tight first half, 0-0. God, Tom Lawrence should have given Derby the lead as well, shouldn't he, in this one? But in the second half, he will stick those chances in. Sorry, I've just realised I've missed out Reading Huddersfield. We'll get to them in a second. My bad. And Lewis Graben. First, I saw this. I thought, oh, is he onside? But he is onside, isn't he? The corner bounces to him, and from then on, he does what Graben does. Good first touch, and he just has to get it on target. Then from that close in, doesn't he? And Graben gives Forest the lead. Here's that Brennan Johnson goal I was talking about. It's really good, actually. They're on transition. Derby are pushing later on in the game to get the goal back. Johnson, he clips it into the corner for Zinkernagel. Zinkernagel's a smart guy, isn't he? He runs in, holds it up, and Johnson is herring into the box, and he just drops it in front of him, and all Johnson has to do then is guide it towards the corner, and that is what he does. 82nd minute. Derby, as they've done all season, really fight manfully to the end, don't they? And they force a penalty. Have I got the clip? There we go, the picture. Steve Cook is poor from him, isn't he? Gets done by Lawrence, and Stonewall penalty, I think you'd all agree. Lawrence sticks it in the corner. Brice Samba then delays the restart. He gets booked. Lawrence gets booked. All gets a bit tetchy for the last few minutes. Ravel Morrison gets sent off in... He gets sent off in stoppage time. Oh, God, right. 7 minutes into stoppage time. And it's a classic... I'll do the Roy Keane quote because he was so right. All of these type decisions tend to be after the player has a bad touch, overruns the ball and just launches into the tackle. I don't think it's excessive force, but he's probably got red carded for endangering the opponent. And I know you should never judge a tackle on a still, but, you know, when you see it like that, he's probably not going to get off with that one, is he? So get your comments in on Forest 2, Derby 1. And Derby didn't create a great deal of value there, did they? Only one shot on target. Did have 3 big chances, so maybe I should take that last comment back. What I will say is maybe they did create some chances, look, but only 1 shot on target, and that is obviously the goal from the penalty spot, isn't it? And Forest, otherwise, they look pretty good value for that when you take the numbers in isolation, which I know isn't always the right thing to do. Forest, 40 points, 8th spot, but there's movement ahead of them, isn't there? Boro in form. Huddersfield just keep sticking the points on. West Brom are 5 ahead. QPR are in form. So, yeah, Forest have still got a bit to do. But I think the argument is if you took Steve Cooper's form from when he took over from Chris Hughton, they are a playoff team on that form. But did they leave themselves too much to do? We'll find out as the season goes on. They've got 4 points to make up. And Derby, well, they've been on a tremendous run. There's more important stuff going on off the pitch, which they'll want to get solved. They are 8 points adrift. Everybody in the bottom 6 lost. So it could have been worse for Derby, put it that way. Let's have a look at some comments. Aidan, was there. Cagey first half. Derby have grit and desire, but lack the quality that Forest have. Hopefully, can get playoff this season. Forest 2 points per game since Houghton left. Yeah, we've been tracking that, haven't we? Ryan, Forest definitely going to make the playoffs. It's an opinion. We will find out, won't we? They may make the playoffs. I'm not going with definitely. You know me. I have to watch what I say on here. Derby play some good football. I think they have enough to make the great escape, and wouldn't it just be? That lump on Samba's head was scary. Ouch. Two of the managers of the season there, potentially. See how many goals Fulham scored as well into that bargain. Feel bad for Derby. Wayne is working wonders with that group of players. They have been defensively solid. Steve Cooper, third year in a row, playoff push. Looks like it, doesn't it? Looks like it indeed. At least we know the goalkeeper who'll be in the Shahousery team. He was having a lovely old time, wasn't he? So there you go. Apologies, John. We are going to Reading Huddersfield right now. My bad. In fact, I've even written the time code in the wrong place on here. So let's do that, and let's go to Reading versus Huddersfield. And it was a ridiculous game at the Select Car Leasing Stadium that ended Reading 3, Huddersfield 4. We were following this on the Saturday Super Stream with absolute disbelief. It was 3-3 at half-time. Danny Ward is going to get a hat-trick in this game as well. But once we forget the craziness of the game, the narratives stay the same. Huddersfield keep winning and surprising the likes of me, who thought they'd be way further down the league. And Reading keep on losing. But again, I will repeat, nobody, other than Hull down the bottom there, nobody lost or gained anything this weekend in that relegation race. Get your thoughts in on this one. It was Reading 3, Huddersfield 4. And someone's pointed out in the chat there. In fact, I'll put that one up. Where is it? Surprised that I forgot about this one. Because there we go. Very dull game. Yeah, you're right, Ollie. So Reading, Southwood in goal. Raphael's gone now to cut costs there. Yidam and Rahman are back from the AFCON. That's good news for Reading. Morrison, Holmes, Laurent, Drinkwater, Rinomota, Swift, Puskas, and Lucas João is back in. So, look, I know we've been saying it's awful for Reading fans at the moment, but the fullbacks are back and João's back in the team. That's good news, isn't it? For Huddersfield, Nichols, Pippa, Pearson, Lees, Toffolo, Thomas, Hogg, O'Brien, Sinani, Karoma, and hat-trick hero, Danny Ward. Shall we have a look at these goals? And I'll try and go quickly because there's 7 of them, okay? First one, Lucas João, classic Lucas João goal that we've seen in the Championship so many times. He's big, he's powerful, but he's got really good close control, and he's actually a bit of a magician when he's on it, isn't he? In terms of that gluey feet and good touch, João. 1-0 Reading. Are you keeping up? Does this take a deflection? I think it must hit Morrison, mustn't it? Because Sinani hits it from the edge of the box on minute 9 here, and it just kind of trickles into the corner somehow. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that takes a deflection, doesn't it? If not, Southwood was surely unsighted. Right, here is goal number 3 that puts Huddersfield 2-1 up. So they managed to turn around a 1-goal deficit by the 15th minute. That's got to be some kind of record. And yeah, Josh Laurent, the central midfielder, that is him, isn't he? Last man there, just gets really badly dragged towards the goal. I guess he's following everything back and he's playing them onside. The ball falls to Ward. A bit like Graben's goal, actually. Quick control, quick hit, bang. 2-1. Here comes 2-2. This is a good finish, actually, by the often maligned George Puskas. Gets into the box and sticks this across the keeper with the right foot. Decent goal, that. 2-2 after 20 minutes. Worth. Here comes Danny Ward again, and this is just really bad from Southwood, who had issues in the Reading game we covered against Derby. And he catches the ball. That's the first bit, right? But as he hits the deck, he drops it out of his hands. There's no one near him. There's no kind of foul, is there? And Ward sticks it into the net. But we're not done. Look at the marking there. That's hopeless marking. Considering Huddersfield is so good from attacking set plays, Michael Morrison, who's not small, is completely free, and he nods it in. It does take a deflection, though, doesn't it? That one. So there you go, 3-3 at half-time. But the best goal of the game is saved for the second half, and the only goal of the game. Danny Ward gets his hat-trick, and he drills that one in, bends it around Southwood to his left. It's a great goal to complete the hat-trick for Danny Ward. Take a bow, son. A hat-trick and a brilliant goal. And yeah, I don't know what analysis to give this game. It just went mental, didn't it? There's only 2 big chances in the game, according to the sort of SofaScore XG type metrics. Okay, there were 33 shots. So yeah, defenses just took the day off, I guess. And both teams, you know what it's like sometimes when a game gets stretched and ridiculous and the goals just fly in. But Huddersfield are just proving me wrong to the nth degree, aren't they? It's fantastic. I've thought for weeks and weeks that they were going to drop into, a bit like, I don't want to patronise these teams, a bit like Coventry have sort of dropped into 10th. I thought Huddersfield would do that. Oh, they're doing well, but it won't last. But no, wrong. 44 points, more power to Corberon and Huddersfield, and they're in the playoff spots still. Amazing stuff. Reading, well, they can thank Peterborough's away record, points deductions for Derby, maybe. I know Reading have had a points deduction of their own, of course, for the fact that they're not in the bottom 3. Remember, in terms of real league table, Reading would have 28 points from 27 games. And by my 45 to survive standard, they're not a relegation team. But that doesn't matter because they had 6 deducted, doesn't it? So we will see with Reading. All I would say is, looking at all the teams down the bottom there, if you can regularly get Swift, Lucas João on the pitch now for the remainder of the season, you would be more confident in Reading's ability to score goals than you would other teams down the bottom there, wouldn't you? Would be my take on that. Let's get some comments in here. Incredible what Carlos is doing, says Oliver, not throwing money at it, just working hard. You can see the Beals. Yeah, amazing stuff from Huddersfield this season. If they get near the playoffs, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Reading started with 3 at the back. Oh, maybe that was why Laurent was so deep. Looked uncomfortable. He's had to go in there 3 times this season. João increases the goal threat, but can't expect to win conceding so many. No. We were saying that about Fulham, but Fulham have got just the best attackers in the division, haven't they? Alfonso wasn't optimistic for this game. Would be typical Town to upset the form book, but Carlos keeps on proving people wrong. Yeah, hands up there. Pippa and Sorba look like a deadly wing pairing. Yeah, down that right-hand side. Brilliant stuff. Danny Ward, first hat-trick since Danny Ward in 2014. There you go. Unbeaten in 9 in all competitions. It's starting to feel like it's no longer a fluke. Well, not 44 points from 28 games. Doesn't look like it. Does it, Jacob? Danny Ward, contender for goal of the week. Yeah, very, very much so, Carm. I agree with that. Didn't think I'd ever see you flabbergasted as you're trying to keep it. Yeah, I lost it. I think at 2-2 I'd lost it. 2-2 at 22 minutes. But yeah, incredible stuff. Had others being relegated. Me too. I had them 23rd as well, not just relegated, second bottom. But yeah, wrong. Let's move on. And we're going to talk about, where's my time code? Sheffield United 2, Luton 0. Get your comments in on this one. Again, sincerest apologies from me. It's so frustrating, the connectivity issues we have. Obviously, we use a third party here to stream and do all of this. We've invested in cameras and everything. And yeah, we're just being let down by the third party, sadly. So apologies. I'll stay on the small screen, but the connectivity is crap. And I will say, I'll say no more. I'll apologize again if it continues to be crap. I thought it would have fixed itself, but we're 45 minutes in and it really, really hasn't. We're not doing Blackpool. See, look, I'm rattled, as they say about football fans. We're doing Sheffield United, aren't we? Sorry. My bad. Should we start this whole segment again? Sheffield United 2, Luton Town 0. Luton have been in good form. Sheffield United, well, we thought they were going to have a really good run. Little slip from them recently and, sort of surrendering a 2-goal lead against Preston, and Preston only had 10. But they come back with a decent win here. Blades 11th. The problem for them, and really the problem for Luton, is the movement up ahead of them. But we would suspect both of these sides are going to be in the top half. Both sets of fans fancy top 10 as well. We'll see what sort of a run Sheffield United can go on. But, remains to be seen what they'll do. Following in goal, Basham, Egan, Robinson, Norrington Davis, Bogle. Of course, Norrington Davis was at Luton on loan at the start of last season. Norwood, Hurahan, Ndai, Brewster, and Sharp looking for one more goal to become the championship record scorer. Shea in goal for Luton, Burke, Bradley, Naismith, Bell, Kioso, and Panzu, Campbell, Lansbury. Campbell's got 2 in 2, hasn't he? Prior to this game, Jerome and Musquay. Musquay was off at AFCON as well. So AFCON players coming back now. But it wasn't an AFCON player that got the opener in this one. It was Rhian Brewster, who's started slowly now to get goals for Sheffield United. A lot of pressure on him and a lot of unfair comments on him, frankly, about a transfer fee paid. He's now starting to score goals for Sheffield United and hopefully can pick up the promise that he had, particularly on that loan spell at Swansea. He scores the opener and, not great marking there from a Luton point of view. Norwood swings that one in. Jack Robinson heads into the back of the net. A red card for Luton in this one. I mean, when you look at, again, I'll always say never judge a decision by a still, but that looks pretty incriminating, doesn't it? Burke, denial of obvious goal-scoring opportunity on Rhian Brewster. So the Hatters end the game with 10 men. Let's have a look at the numbers. Yeah, looks like a very viable win for Sheffield United. Look, 25 shots to 4, 7-2 on target, 2 big chances to 0. And given that we think Luton are a better side than that, probably an off day for the Hatters and a good day for Sheffield United. 36 Blades. I mean, look, they've got 3 games in hand on Huddersfield. If you do the thing that we should never do and just add 3 points on for all the games in hand when Sheffield United's points per game is far from 3 points per game worthy. But stranger things have happened. Luton out of the top half. That has got to be the target. But look, these teams are both going to have hectic schedules between now and the end of the season. And we'll see where it takes them. I've got them both as top halfers, really, but we'll see what happens. Let's have a look at some comments in this one. Nick, bad start to the second half. Can't complain with us taking 6 points from Bournemouth and Sheffield United. 10 points from 5. Bristol City game must win. Playoffs still possible. There you go. Ewan, no need for that, is there? Where are we? Ndai, best youngster. Ndai? Said that funny, didn't I? I've seen at the lane since Brooks. Yes, he does look good, doesn't he? Blade's not consistent enough. Hatters playing some nice stuff all the same. Luton not scoring when they were on top cost them. Game of 2 halves. Had a bad feeling about this, Ollie, but we were value for it in the end. Lack any consistency. Hot and cold. No better than 10th. Yeah, interesting. Pleased for Brewster. Absolutely. Who said it's a fact that Sheffield United pay? Deary me, let's not get into this. Again, anyone wants to talk about transfer fees? Yeah, maybe they can set up their own debate and have that away from everybody else. It gets very tedious very quickly, doesn't it? For sure. Right, let's move on. And it is Blackpool 1, Millwall 0. That is a 3rd straight defeat for Millwall. And yeah, Millwall fans not happy after this one and the current form under Mr. Rowett. Blackpool, well, I feel a bit more confident now with Blackpool. That's 3 wins in 5, and they'd been on a bad run, and we were kind of saying, oh, okay, They beat Peterborough and they beat Hull, two of their League One colleagues last season. But now you stick a win in over Millwall as well. And we can probably say they're out of that bad run. And they're in the top half, which is tremendous work when you consider they were in League One last season. So maybe Blackpool have turned the proverbial corner, whereas Millwall, 3 points in the last 5 games, are trending downwards. Natives restless. And they have made moves in the transfer market. Ollie Burke came in, but they need an upturn on the pitch. Grimshaw in goal for Blackpool. Get your comments in on this one, by the way. Garbutt, Keogh, Ekpiteta, Sterling, Hamilton, Bowler, Dougal, Connolly, Medine and Lavery. Bialkowski in goal for Millwall. Hutchison, Cooper, Wallace, Malone, McNamara, Evans, Keefton, Bell, Mitchell, Afobe and Bennett up top. Shane Lavery, who was a bit of a star earlier in the season, back in the goals. He scores the only goal of the game. Look, he's falling over, isn't he, as he hits that one, is he? Or is it just a bit blurry? It might just be a bit blurry. Could be wrong about that. But a 55th minute goal. Hamilton coming in from the left-hand side. And Lavery able to cut that one in. You can see Bialkowski maybe a bit unsighted, but Lavery finds the back of the net. He's been a very good pickup for Blackpool this season. Only goal of the game. And it doesn't look like Millwall created a lot. No big chances. 2 corners. 3 shots on target. And we often look for the highlighted figures in the numbers, and most of them belong to Blackpool there. In fact, only offsides and fouls. Although possession does in terms of Millwall at the top there. But ho-hum in that regard. And Blackpool get the victory, as we said, into the top half for Poole. And 3 wins in 5. Maybe turning the corner after a bad run. And speaking of bad runs, Millwall are officially on one. And yeah, look at the goals for tally as well for Millwall. I'm looking down the table and I'm only seeing Hull have scored fewer, Peterborough, Barnsley and Derby. So you're looking at the wrong end of the table in the bottom 3, plus Hull. I might have missed someone out. Apologies, I'm doing it on the fly. 4 fewer goals scored there. So the problem appears to be fairly clear there for Millwall and for Rowett. 2 promoted teams to stay up. Yes, who are we looking at? Promoted teams. Blackpool, Hull. Yeah, Blackpool and Hull at the moment. Yeah, looking like it. Yeah, potentially. Blackpool missed a few chances. Blackpool, difficult place to go. Vociferous home fans. Yeah, didn't they let me know when I didn't have their atmosphere ranked 5 stars on my my rankings of stadiums. Keogh still a top defender. He makes a difference for them, doesn't he? Millwall fans calling for the manager chop. And right on cue, Alan says, Rowett, please leave, please. Rowett, please leave. He doesn't say please leave, please. He's got far better sentence construction than me, evidently. Right, 3 to go, guys. Again, apologies for the problems with the connectivity. Very frustrating from this end. We are trying our hardest, and it doesn't appear to be working very well. And it wasn't working very well for Preston. They went under 1-0 to Swansea. I was going to say Sheffield United then. It was Swansea 1, Preston 0, down at the Swansea.com this weekend. And we're looking for a corner turned at Blackpool. Do we have a corner turned at Swansea? Decent draw at inform Huddersfield and a winner here and a clean sheet as well against Preston, who were undefeated, weren't they, against Ryan Lowe, under Ryan Lowe, and obviously had that really good fight back against Sheffield United in the week. So all in all, a good result for the Swans here. Look at that. Hannes Wolf coming on at half-time as well. Anyway, let me do your teams. Hamer still in goal, despite Fisher's signing. Gabungo, Norton, Manning, Latabodio, Christie, Grimes, Downs, Nitcham, Smith and Pirro. No Patterson. Lots of people have been asking me about him and how that may or may not play out. Keep your eyes on that. Iverson in goal for Preston, Vandenberg, Bauer, Cunningham, Rafferty, Barkhazen, Whiteman, Brown, Johnson, Reese and Ched Evans up top. And we've got a few contenders for goal of the round. Here's another one. Look at that. Foot like a traction engine jobby for Ryan Manning, who spanks that one into the back of the net with that left foot of his. And it's a very Russ Martin goal, isn't it? The left centre-back of the back three being that far up the pitch. But Manning's goal on 51 gives the Swans the victory. Let's have a look at the numbers, see if they tell us anything. They tell us it was probably quite a viable one for the Swans. Look, only one shot on target in terms of Preston attacking and no big chances. Preston do force 9 corners and 9 shots, to be fair to them. Only one big chance to Swans. So I suspect, without having seen the game, my conclusion on what I know about the managers and the teams is that a tight game here, and Manning's bit of quality has won it. For Swansea, 15th and 17th. Look, I know not everybody can trend up, but wouldn't you imagine both of these teams would be slightly higher than they are now by the end of the season? I'm not saying much higher, but higher nonetheless. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Ollie, Preston should have started with 10. They were awesome red against us. Well, there you go. If Swans win their games in hand, they're 1 point behind Huddersfield. Well, there you go. We can do that. We can add on 3 points per game for the Swans, who are scoring at a rate of only just over 1 point per game. But he's given me the wink there, Simon, so I think he's being sarcastic. Liam, Manning outstanding. Wolf was great for us. I thought when he came on at half-time. Obafemi now throwing his toys. Deleted all Swansea-related content. Oh, dear. That doesn't work, does it, hey? Victory was coming after battering Huddersfield. On the up now. Christie looking like an upgrade on Laird. Really? I like Laird. Interesting. Much needed result. Cracking goal. Wolf looked the biz. Tough fixtures coming up, irrespective. Swans are a patient lot. Yeah. On and off the pitch, I think. And in-game as well. They're very, very patient. Any Swans fans here? Plenty, Simon. By the looks of it, highlight seems to suggest they're playing better than their position. Glad Manning got his goal out of the way before visiting. Yeah, the Rangers. There we go. And yes, we should point out plenty of games in hand for the Swans if they do want to make a move up the table. On we go, 2 to go, and plenty to talk about at Bristol City, where it was Bristol City 3, Cardiff 2 in the 7-side derby. Apologies again, the connectivity's been awful this stream, so I'll stay on the small screen. Very, very infuriating. I can only apologise so many times. So yeah, Bristol City 3, Cardiff 2. We suspected this one would be a high score in the Championship 365 show. I did with Ben HD in second tier. We all said as much, didn't we? And it turned out to be so. Bristol City are kind of erratic, but I don't know, Semenyo, Vyman, they've got a bit of quality there, and Cardiff don't have a very good defensive record. So, yeah, goals, and that's what we got, 3-2 in this one. O'Leary in goal for Bristol City. Bentley still out of the team. Callas, Atkinson, Pring, O'Dowda, Scott, Masengo, King, Vyman, Semenyo, and Chris Martin up top. For Cardiff, Smithies, McGuinness, Flint, Nelson, NG, Drama, Doyle, Pack, Rules, Collins, and Harris. So he's starting to shape his team there, Steve Morrison. Look, Drama and Doyle, who are in on loan from Leeds and Manchester City, both get themselves a start. Right, here come the goals. Try and keep up with this because there's 5. Yeah, mistake by Masengo, wasn't it? Who does that clearance that fans always hate to see, where they're in the corner and they all their teams had to come back in and kind of just clear it up the line, ready for a cross to be put in with the defence really deep as well. So not Masengo's finest hour there, but it's a good cross and a good header. Cross from Doyle and Collins with the header in. But Chris Martin gets the equaliser here. Good finish from there. Really weird build-up into this goal because, first of all, it looked like Flint, who got run a little bit too easily, didn't he, might get penalised for a pullback. And then I think Nelson comes careering in and takes Flint out. It then falls to Martin, who finishes it well. And the referee's probably like, okay, fair enough. I'll make no decision and just let the goal stand. So there you go, 1-1. And another good finish by Chris Martin here as they break with Semenyo. He lays it across and Martin drills that into the corner with the left foot, rolling back the years there. Chris Martin. Good finish into the corner, 2-1. And Andy Vyman, who is surely going to be the player of the year for Bristol City. He's been excellent this season in an erratic team and put up good numbers and played lots of different positions. Drives it in left-footed. Well played, Vyman, who makes it 3-1. But that's not the end of the scoring because Max Waters comes on and scores in the 90th minute from Wintle's cross. I'm not sure O'Leary will be too pleased with this. I know the header is right in the corner, but he doesn't, let's say, show cat-like instincts to throw himself across the goal. O'Leary to save that, but it didn't matter in the end for the Bristol City fans, and they get the win 3-2. Weird old game. Look at that. 38 shots in it. Cardiff have more of the possession and more shots. Bristol City have 6-5 shots on target, and it's 2 big chances apiece, really. So, dare I say, Chris Martin's finishing may have been the difference in this game. But, yeah, game state as well. Bristol City did manage to get themselves 3-1 up, which always makes a difference, particularly on the possession number, because teams throw caution to the wind. And we do have to also mention in that type of analysis that the last Cardiff goal came very late in the game, and it could have been a 3-1. If not for that. So, yeah, not entirely sure clear conclusions on that one. But it is 6 points in 3 games for Bristol City. And you know me, my standard is if you can get 2 points per game over any sample size, even 2 games or 3 games, you'll take it. And Bristol City, yeah, look, 33 points, big group of teams there. And we've said for the longest, for Nigel Pearson's entire reign going back into last season, just get consistency. That's all the first thing, because it's just so erratic with Bristol City, and then home form and away form and not scoring goals and then scoring goals. And just hard to get a hand on. Cardiff, and I've had this pointed out to me a couple of times today, were it not for points deduction, are a relegation team, aren't they? But hey, we've got to live in reality, and teams have had points deductions. So they are 4 points clear of the bottom 3, but they are below a point per game, which is kind of my standard for a relegation-looking team. Sorry, we will stay on the small screen here again. Problems with the connectivity. Jeff, turning the corner, methinks. Excellent forward play from City. Yeah, Martin in particular. Masengo, brilliant despite the error. McGuinness, Flint, when I'm dead and gone. Okay, is that a 70s rock duo there? Cardiff and Bristol, awesome derby. I was surprised. Yeah, goal heavy indeed. Great atmosphere. Aqua. Bristol City have started to play some nice football recently. Definite slow improvements, but still inconsistent on the whole. Interesting. Excellent attacking performance. Yeah, that seems to be the case, doesn't it? And pretty clinical attacking performance, actually. Seem to be scoring more goals than early in the season. Anything else in here? Cardiff might be the 3rd worst team in the Championship, but points deductions, exactly the point I was making. I played 60 minutes with Scott and Masengo, 18 and 20. Well, so much for Nige, loving his trusted lieutenants there. We thought it would be King and James, but a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old in there for the win. Right, sorry, I'm going long here. 1 game to go, and it was Birmingham 2, Barnsley 1. Protests over at Birmingham. They seem to have been fairly classy and done outside, and, not ridiculous stuff happens, and done before the game, and, done in the right way from what I understand. So well done, the Blues fans. We, of course, respect everybody's right to protest, but we've obviously seen in the last couple of years, sometimes it's not done in the right manner, is it? So more power to the Birmingham fans if they continue their protests in that way. And they get the win on the pitch, and yeah, Barnsley just look nailed on for relegation as things stand, don't they? Etheridge in goal for Birmingham. Pedersen, Roberts, Mengi, Colin, Gardner, Woods, James, Jutkiewicz, Hogan, and Hernandez. So he's trying something different again, Bowyer, to try and find the formula there. For Barnsley, Collins, Williams, Hellick, Anderson, Kitching, Palmer, Gomez, Styles, Adebayo, Morris, and Isaka. And they're just in that rut now, Barnsley. I remember my team, Ipswich, getting into it in 18-19, where you've just been losing and not winning games and not scoring points for so long that it becomes such a hard rut to get out of. And Barnsley are, at the moment, I think we did the projection. It's something like 25 points or something. They're just over halfway through the season and they got 14 points. So it's less than 28 points, which would be an abject, awful total for Barnsley. And they did nothing to boost that total in this game. Sadly, the Tykes. Here's Onel Hernandez, who's made an impact, hasn't he, since arriving on loan from Norwich. Jutkiewicz plays it round the corner, and Hernandez, who is an absolute speed merchant, gets down into the box and sticks it in the back of the net. And this is the type of goal that you concede when you're at the bottom of the league, never winning. Corner in, keeper, 6s and 7s. About 15 players in the box there, and it just drops, and Hogan pokes it over the line. It's a rubbish goal to concede, isn't it? Barnsley do get one back. Adebayo managed to force that one home to bring it back to 2-1 with 3 minutes to go, but too little, too late. And that may be the analysis of Barnsley's season period. Now, let's talk about Birmingham first. And a win, first one for a while. Hernandez making a difference. Mengi's in the team now. Can they get Chong back and on the pitch is the question. The rumour is they can. We'll see if that does indeed make a difference. Can Birmingham go on a run upwards, or is it just that they played Barnsley? We'll find out. And yeah, Barnsley, and I mean no disrespect, because we paid Barnsley all the respect in the world last season. They were magnificent finishing in the playoffs, but this does have the air now of a team that's going to finish bottom, doesn't it, when you got 14 points from 25 games and they're just not winning. And sorry for you new manager bounce people, but no new manager bounce in sight at Barnsley. Almost like it's not a thing, is it? There we go. Let's have a look at the comments here. It's raining. Is this a Birmingham comment? Good win. Hopefully we can do the same against Posh and Derby. Atmosphere was better. I don't know whether that's a Bristol City comment. He's got a Birmingham poll in the thing, so I think it is a Birmingham comment. There we go. Barnsley are going down. Yeah, it looks very much like that, sadly, doesn't it? Simon, I had this one down as a yardstick as to whether the Tykes had any hope of avoiding the drop. I'd be very concerned now. It doesn't look good, does it? To be fair to Daniel, he's been good value and very honest all season. Barnsley fan. I've seen bad Barnsley teams. Big changes are needed. It's just not happening, sadly, for the Tykes, who were brilliant last season, weren't they? Barnsley single-handedly disproving the new manager's bounce. They didn't get one, did they? Tykes, sadly done. Shows they deservedly made the playoffs. It's so hard sometimes when you get, those key departures that they have and that big change. It's exactly what happened at my team, Ipswich. McCarthy left. They sold 3 or 4 players. They tried to change. They didn't start winning, or they, started losing and just never stopped in 18-19. They haven't quite recovered from that yet still, have they? Chong and Sanchez. Yeah, they may well make a difference, mightn't they, over at Birmingham. So there you go. That is our show. I'm going to try and go to the big screen. I'm going to apologise if I look pixelated. I will send a strongly worded email again to StreamYard, and we'll have a look. Have a look at the tech, but apologies if the picture's not been great tonight. You have in the comments. It's been fantastic. Right, let's do team of the round. Okay, let's get your shouts in for team of the round. I'll go through the winners. There were no draws, so we've had a lot of winners. As usual, guys, let's try and make this place better than other places on YouTube. And by that, I mean, please leave your bias at the door and don't just blindly vote for the team you support. We're looking for a bit of a higher standard of debate, and you guys are normally good at giving that. So do consider other teams before just automatically voting for the team you support. I'll keep saying it. It's my ambition to try and get discussion about football balanced and not completely tribal. So get your team of the round in the chat. Will it be Bristol City, who won the 7 side? Will it be Forest, who won the Brian Clough? Will it be Birmingham, who got their first win in a while? Or Blackpool, who might have turned the corner? Will it be Hull? I suspect we'll get a lot of Hull shouts, won't we, who won away at Bournemouth. We might get a lot of QPR shouts as well. They continue their good run. Will it be Huddersfield, who continue to defy most people, including me? Will it be Sheffield United? Fulham, who did it. To be fair, Fulham is a shout this week. They did it away at Stoke without Mitrovic and Wilson. Will it be Swansea, who may be turning the corner? West Brom, who finally scored 3. Honestly, I think my shortlist is probably QPR, Hull, maybe Huddersfield, and possibly Fulham would be my shortlist for team of the round this week. I'll give you a few seconds longer and we will go into the comments. What have we got in the chat? Here we go. Hull, Huddersfield, Huddersfield, Hull, Forest. Mark, you only comment on Forest. That's your homework, Mark. Please leave your bias at the door. Blackpool, Hull, Blues, Bristol City. There you go, Mark. Well done. Hull did well. Look, let's go for Hull. I think they did win it in terms of the numbers, but could have been any number of teams with the few number of draws we had this week. Okay, good luck with this one because there were some crackers. Let's talk goal of the round. Okay, again, normal please. Please consider all the goals scored by all of the teams and don't automatically vote for a goal scored by your team. But go for it. Who was your goal of the round? I'm trying to pick out some of mine. A couple of tidy finishes by Chris Martin and a diving header by Collins. Brennan Johnson's goal was, nicely worked, wasn't it? Birmingham versus Hernandez, maybe. Lavery. Longman, nice goal for Hull. Brilliant goal for Coventry, by the way. Shipley, that might get a few shouts, mightn't it? In the Reading game, Danny Ward's hat-trick goal was very good indeed, wasn't it? Muniz's goal for Fulham was fantastic, wasn't it? And, oh God, the Lewis Baker goal as well was brilliant for Stoke, wasn't it? Manning for Swansea was a brilliant goal. So, look, there's a few standout candidates there. I think the standout candidates are probably Manning, Baker, Ward. They're all long ranges, I'm afraid. Longman, Shipley. I think I might go for Shipley, I have to say. But you let me know what your contenders are for goal of the round. Please leave your bias at the door. The first thing I can see is 2 Birmingham fans voting for a Birmingham goal, a Huddersfield fan voting for a Huddersfield goal, and then a Fulham fan voting for a Fulham goal. I'm trying, guys, to get a balanced debate. I'll tell you what, I'll read from the bottom upwards. Okay, Shipley, Huddersfield, Ward, Shipley. There's a Forest fan voting for a Forest goal. Hernandez for cheese on toast. Shipley, Hernandez, Manning, Hernandez. Bobby Reed. There we go. Maybe some of the more biased ones at the top there. I'm only joking. I believe in your freedom of speech. I don't know who won there. I think it might have been Hernandez, actually, with all the numbers, which I find a bit ridiculous. But I'll go for Shipley anyway. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Brilliant stuff in the chat. My sincerest apologies again. The connectivity has been poor. I'm going to restart my machine and delete a load of stuff and reset my router and the stuff that we all normally do. But apologies for the poor connectivity tonight. I'll be back at 7:30, for God's sake, for the Blue Monday podcast. And it's a lovely big over and out from me. Thank you all for watching and see you tomorrow night, hopefully, when the pitch is going to be a bit better for Blackburn versus Boro. Thank you all for watching. Over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel, hit the subscribe button, and to be notified every time we upload, ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.